Hi guys, it's BlazeJack3 today. I'm back with another video. Of course, like I said last time, I was gonna do a follow-up video to my Josuke basically video if he can understand you or not. Go watch. I do think you should go watch that one. So if you have time later after this video, please watch that one as well. So basically, what today I want to talk about was basically the Josuke versus Giorno. Basically, of course, you already know there are different parts. They're kind of around the same timeline. I'd say about like 2 years apart. So pretty much, but then again, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty much pitting them at their highest knowledgeable point, whether that be Josuke at the end of the fight with Yoshikage or even Giorno's golden experience with Requiem. Doesn't matter. I'm actually going to be using either just regular golden experience and golden experience Requiem just to give him a fair fight and just to make sure. So basically, what I want to start off with today was to see who would actually win. Now, starting off with Josuke, you can pretty much safe to say that the point that I wanted to make in my last video was the fact that yes, Josuke, I want to say that Josuke's shining diamond is basically golden experience Requiem to an extent, of course, just watered down to an extent, right? Because of the fact that I showed the pictures in the last video, but I don't necessarily have to show you now if you want to watch it or whatever. I know I made a point as to whether or not not whether or not I made the point as where he basically did that dude. I think his name is it's not Tonio. It was the guy who actually was a serial killer. He had that water-based stand. Basically, what he did there was he pretty much trapped him in a rock, and not just trapped him in a rock. It's not like he just put his body in there when he broke the rock apart. He like actually separated the dude's body, and the dude is actually still alive because, as you know, that rock is actually like a place that people go a lot in Morio. So, and the eyes do move. People are like, oh man, that's just like a weird rock. But no, he's actually still alive in there. So Josuke has some. He can surpass his limitations in some aspects or certain situations where it kind of defies just rewinding something to its previous state. And I don't want to say rewinding, but I would say it's basically that. But there's something else that goes in there where he can actually control matter to a certain extent and its placement within the universe, I guess to say. I don't want to say the universe, but I would say just, you know, in midair or placement or wherever he wants it to be. So basically, that's my iPad. Sorry about that. So, why does that even matter against going against the Giorno, right? Well, of course, one of the main points I also wanted to make up in my last video, not make up, I wanted to state in my last video was the fact that Josuke can also interact with stands, and not just interact with stands. Of course, anybody can like hit a stand, right? But he can actually use his power to influence the stand's actions, and by that I mean it was when he was fighting Yoshikage. This is one instance I want to bring up that I actually forgot to bring up in my last video. That when he was actually punching the little remote bomb, I forgot the name of it. The little remote bomb that that Jotaro and what's his name? Short kid, I can't remember his freaking name. The kid with Act 1 and 2 and 3. That kid. When they were fighting that little remote bomb thing that could sense their heat signature, of course, Jotaro stopped time and tried to punch it. It still wouldn't even destroy it. And pretty much they almost got blown up by it if they, you know, basically. And it was until Josuke actually got there, we thought, man, how is he going to do anything? But it's actually, we learned that, yes, he can actually interact with the stands directly. And instead of, like, making it, like disappear or something, I thought he might do it. He actually made it like go all the way back to Yoshikage himself, because as we saw, that it's one of the little platelets that come off of Killer Queen's knuckles, basically. So yeah, he can actually revert the stand to back into the actual stand user's body, and that's actually something really safe to say that a lot of people can't necessarily, I want to say do, but I mean, you've heard of fighting stands, but actually interact with it in a way that's just huge. Okay, that's just freaking huge. And also the point is what I want to say with going against Giorno, Josuke could most likely just revert golden experience Requiem back to its regular golden experience state, basically. And I know you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, why would he be able to do that? There's nothing that says he could be able to do that. Well, back to what I was saying with that guy that he put in that rock. The guy is actually still alive in that rock, but of course, the guy's a serial killer. I mean, he's been doing that since he's like been a little kid, and a rapist, if you know what I'm trying to say. But basically, I mean, come on, he is still alive in the rock, and there's no cases of any deaths by that rock or anything, he can't even use his stand. So it's safe to say that Josuke put him in a state where he literally can't even use his stand, that he just can't use it. And that's really fire. You know, that really just shows that, oh, huh, okay. I mean, I know how I'm sounding, but I mean, it's kind of crazy because it's like, if he could really just by hitting Golden Experience Requiem, just revert him back to its original state, to its pretty much just regular Golden Experience, that's a huge win. Now, of course, now you're like, well, I mean, could Golden Experience even touch him right at that point, right? Because Golden Experience, would Golden Experience actually let Shining Diamond even touch him? Sorry, I had to clear that up. Now, that's safe to say, probably not. But then again, it's kind of like, it's kind of iffy type of situation, because Shining Diamond is really fast. Way faster and way stronger than Golden Experience, even Golden Experience Requiem. Now, Golden Experience Requiem, he's fast, but he's nowhere near as fast as Shining Diamond, because on the first episode that we actually get introduced to Shining Diamond, when Jotaro, I think, mocked his hair, yeah, he brought Shining Diamond out and actually was about to punch him. And the only time, of course, it caught Jotaro off guard, but the whole point of him even going to Morio was the fact of that he knew that was Joseph's grandson. I mean, not grandson. That was Joseph's son. Sorry about that. That's my mistake. That's Josuke is Joseph's son. Okay. But it's also safe to say that I think it's like fact. I'm not sure if it's fact, but it seems like it, that because of Dio's situation and stealing Jonathan's body, that the Joestars pretty much just automatically get a stand at a certain age, because that's pretty much what happened with Josuke. So it's safe to say that he kind of already knew that he had a stand. I think it's pretty much just like, well, he didn't know what it was. It could be anything, right? But it was so fast that he couldn't even react in time. The only reason that he didn't get messed up by Shining Diamond's reverting powers was the fact that he could stop time. Now, that doesn't mean that Jotaro could have just died immediately, but I mean, he didn't even react fast enough, or neither did Star Platinum react fast enough to even counterattack at all. And even if he did counterattack, he would still get like mangled up or something. I mean, Star Platinum's hand could literally be in his freaking elbow for all we know, right? So it's safe to say that Shining Diamond is just dangerous in its own. Even if Giorno can like know that Shining Diamond is about to hit him, there's no way he can react fast enough. There's just no freaking way. And it's like, okay, well, what if Shining Diamond does hit him? If he reverts him back to regular Golden Experience, he can't, like, you know, rewind. I don't want to say rewind time. It's not really his power, but I would say time is part of reality. He can't rewind reality at that point because he doesn't have that power anymore, right? So basically, if Josuke pretty much just gets one hit on Golden Experience Requiem, that's pretty much it. Even just regular Golden Experience, because as we've seen, Josuke can even send the stand back to the user originally, just right back into his body. And it's also safe to say that he can also put the stand in a state to where it can't be used by the user, probably pretty much just erasing it in total. So yeah, that's a big advantage that Josuke has over Giorno. One hit and he's done pretty much, you know. Now, going on Giorno's side, doesn't mean it's just completely one-sided. It doesn't mean Josuke just automatically wins because of that. No. Now, of course, Golden Experience is very powerful. One thing he really most notably has over Shining Diamond is the fact that he can actually use Golden Experience to heal himself with life, while Josuke can't even heal himself by reverting his own health back with Shining Diamond. He can do it to other people, but not himself. I'm not sure why, but he just can't. But yeah, it's pretty. That's one big thing. If it doesn't come to like reverting anything back, if Josuke doesn't do that, yeah, he could pretty much just pummel regular Golden Experience, maybe even Requiem, probably not Requiem, because if he's just trying to pummel him, he could probably revert reality back, but it just depends on who's fast enough at that point. But basically, yeah, I would say it's safe to say that Giorno can pretty much just, you know, regenerate mid-battle. Now, of course, he's gonna still feel the pain, but at the same time, I wouldn't even put Josuke out of the question here as well, because as we saw when he was fighting Yoshikage Kira, he can also use his body as something to revert back to. Now, is now how he manipulated it. He can use like hair, clothes that's currently on him, and yes, it does actually recognize his clothes as part of him as well, or even blood. He actually coated it in blood, coated a piece of glass in blood because he's had a general direction of where Yoshikage Kira was. Threw it out the window, it went past him. He missed on purpose so that way he could come back and stab him in the back. Now, if Josuke wanted to just like cut his arm and start just splattering stuff or spit on a wall or something, and I mean basically yeah, he can pretty much just like keep hitting Giorno out of nowhere. Now I mean, would like a rock or in the environment really do much? Probably not, but it could be used as a distraction. But it's safe to say that yeah, if any damage does come from either just a hit or any type of rock in the environment, yeah, Giorno can pretty much heal himself. Now he'll still feel the pain, but his damage is gone, so it doesn't really freaking matter at that point. But yeah, that's pretty notable. I need to also include a clip because I know that this is the gameplay you're seeing right here is actually All-Star Battle, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This came out in like 2013. It's a clip that I have to include from JoJo's Eyes of Heaven that I actually played, and it's actually hinting that because of the fact that Giorno can actually like rewind reality, that of course if you can rewind it, you can have a stopping point that he can actually stop time. But what makes his so different from Zawato is that he can't move within it, and that just makes him less overpowered. But yes, it does seem like that Golden Experience Requiem can stop time. He just cannot move within it, which that's actually pretty good, because if he couldn't move within it, then he would be way too OP. And it's also seems that he can't even move within when he's reverting on time back. Well, reality to back. He can't move within that either. He can know what's going on, possibly, but he can't. Well, at least Golden Experience knows. But no, just Giorno cannot move within that like Diavolo can. Diavolo can pretty much just skip and erase 10 seconds, but he can actually move within it. But Giorno cannot. Now that's one thing he can't do. Now, is that too much of a difference between him and facing Josuke? Yes and no, but they're not really. But I would say yeah. Honestly, well, no, but you know what I mean. But what else? Now going into having him fighting Josuke with Golden Experience Requiem. One also other big thing that he has is a distance attack, because you also saw that with Requiem, your current abilities also get boosted. So yes, your strength and speed also get boosted as well, but I don't think that's going to be near enough to how Shining Diamond is. I mean, how Shining Diamond is built, he's pretty much built like Star Platinum. They're mostly powerhouse, strength, mostly just strength-based stands. And that's the whole point that he was trying, that the creator of this was trying to make with JoJo, especially going into part 4, was that part 3 stands are mostly like battle ready, but part 4 were mostly like just about abilities. And they also kind of had to go further with that thought process with part 5 as well. But they had some strength going into the play, especially with King Crimson, how strong he is. Now, he's not as strong as Star Platinum or Shining Diamond, but I mean, he is pretty strong. I mean, now so is Golden Experience. I'm not going to say that he's not so strong, but to just say that, 1 or 2 hits from when Giorno was fighting Bruce Harati on their first encounter, to say that 1 or 2 hits could like break a bone or two, that's probably not good. Star Platinum or Shining Diamond could pretty much break your whole freaking body with that. I mean, honestly, to be honest, because I mean, you even saw with Jotaro when he fought Dio. 1 hit cracked his freaking skull open. That's a lot of damage. I mean, that really is. But yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that with distance-based attacks, we saw that it boosts his Golden Experience, his life. Now he can actually use it as a beam. So not only can he transfer that into actual person, which I mean, yeah, he could do that anyway, but it's so fast. I don't know, it's probably not light speed, but it's really fast. I don't even think it's close to light speed, but it is tremendously fast. I don't keep saying it, but I mean, it basically does what he's been doing already, but it can also be used as like a ray-based attack, or just to give life to something without actually having to physically touch it, and that can keep Shining Diamond away. that could be really something. It just depends on how strong the beam itself is, because if Shining Diamond is strong enough to just block it, he might have like vines growing out of him. Now that might pin him down or something, but if he's just strong enough to like just block it, then I mean that pretty much just defeats the whole purpose of Giorno even using that move, really, pretty much. But yeah, I would say that it's not a stalemate, but in terms of Golden Experience Requiem reverting back reality, I don't really think he's going to be fast enough to do it. He can probably do it if he knows what's coming and then all that stuff, but as we've seen in the fight with Diavolo and Giorno, the only person who knew what was actually going on, it seems, because even Golden Experience said himself that even Giorno doesn't know, and only I know that you will never find the truth. Now, he can put Josuke in a death loop. If he hits him, he can do that. That's one thing, but I mean, still, Shining Diamond is pretty fast. I'm not saying that he's gonna, well, actually, they might just like make their fists like hit each other. So I think just a hit will probably make them, well, no, I'm wrong. Okay, so I think one of the main things is that if Golden Experience Requiem hits the stand, that's not the way it works. I think you actually have to make contact with the actual stand user in order for that thing to actually work, for that death thing to work. But if he lands a punch on Josuke, then yeah, he's pretty much dead. I mean, pretty much on Josuke himself. But if Josuke lands a hit on Golden Experience or Giorno himself, that's it. I mean, pretty much. It's like I said, it's kind of a stalemate, honestly, because of the fact that Josuke can literally revert your stand to the point where you can't use it, or he can make it just go back inside of your body, and that's a huge advantage. Now, Golden Experience Requiem can revert reality, but he can't move within that. And it seems the only person who actually knows what's going on within that reverting is Golden Experience himself. Now, that doesn't mean that you know what I mean. That doesn't mean that they can't win at that point. Golden Experience is smart. He has his own personality. Most stands that can actually move by themselves have their own personality. They're just commanded by the person, by the stand user. Because as we saw, Hirose, is that his name? Hirose, the guy with Act 3, the one that said SHIT. That stand has his own personality, and he doesn't act like him at all. So I mean, yeah, it's safe to say that yeah, they have their own personality. It's not like they're just some stands that just sit there, But yeah, honestly, but the whole point is that leaves Giorno, so stupid. That leaves Giorno at a huge disadvantage if he himself doesn't know what's going on. Well, granted, it doesn't. We've seen that you can actually speak through your stands in part 3. While Jotaro was fighting that water-based stand user on that ship, when he was on the water, they were all speaking to each other through their stands because they themselves couldn't talk on the water. But to actually share the actual thought process, besides just commanding them, I don't think you can actually know what they're thinking per se. I mean, actually, you probably can. No, okay, I'm wrong. You can, because that wouldn't make sense. Because in part 3, when Jotaro was fighting that guy in the desert, he could see through Star Platinum's eyes, or what was it, like 40 meters away or 40 miles away? I forgot. So I mean, it's safe to say that you can also know what they're thinking. So even with that in mind, I think the Golden Experience Requiem was trying to get the point the point that he was trying to get across was that Giorno doesn't know how the power works exactly, except Golden Experience does, because that's his power, and he got stabbed by the arrow himself, right? But the only thing is that he has to do it, pretty much. I mean, Giorno can't do that himself. Of course, that's the whole point of even having a stand. But so it seems that Giorno can't necessarily do it on command. You would have to leave that up to Golden Experience himself to do it. But that's also kind of a big disadvantage. It's not like a disconnect between the two, but that's something that if Josuke was to get close enough with Shining Diamond in order to hit Giorno probably wouldn't be able to just do it automatically on command. He would have to let Golden Experience Requiem do it. Like I said, I made this video in preparation just to see who would actually be able to win in these fights. But what it's coming down to, I still think Josuke could win. To just basically, if he gets a hit on Golden Experience, well, let me say this really quick. I know I'm jumping a bit, but I was thinking, wait a minute. Okay, what could Shining Diamond's ultimate move be if he can't get in close to Golden Experience Requiem, right? So the point is that he can actually interact with the stands, he can interact with the person and revert it back to its original state, right? So I was thinking, dang, what if he started like hitting the ground? And because as we seen when he was on that bike, when he was running away from that other guy, saying I forgot his name, he could destroy the bike in midair and was able to like know where all the parts of the bike was, so he could dodge that lady and the baby. But he can actually like make their placement like stay stagnant or keep moving as long as he makes it go into his regular place. So he can control its place in reality. He can control whether it stays stagnant or how long it stays stagnant, how sped up it can be, or because it's like, well, what if, okay, like let's say he wants a rock or something to like form back together. It's gonna form back together no matter what. It'll even lift bigger rocks on top of it. So I don't even think weight even matters. It could probably just come through a building if it wants to. It's gonna come back together, right? Now that doesn't mean he can't stop it himself, but yeah, it's gonna happen basically. So I was like, dang, what if he like was, what if the fight was so large that they were going over a large distance, and basically Shining Diamond could basically do Shibaku Tensei? Like, wouldn't that be freaking crazy? Like, he could just make like a bunch of like buildings and stuff around him, or just like debris, or just anything that he touched that same day, or however long he did. Multiple things, maybe, I don't know. He can make them like collapse onto Giorno or something. Who freaking knows, you know? But even with that probably even goes into like Golden Experience Requiem's like life beam. What if Shining Diamond hits that? Because it's like, well, the whole point is that I think how he wants to use it is like a trap. He'll shoot it into you, and then it could either turn you, or maybe something like it could turn like you into something, or like replace your arm with a plant, or like shoot veins into it to trap you down. But it's like Shining Diamond can just hit it, and then that could revert back to normal. Doesn't mean that it's gonna revert himself or Josuke back to normal, but the vines, I probably said veins before, the vines are gonna be gone, and they're gonna go right back to Golden Experience Requiem. So like I said, even though on a smaller scale, Shining Diamond seems kind of OP compared to Golden Experience Requiem. Even though, yeah, he's kind of basically the strongest stand. I'm not sure about, you know, part 6. I don't know anything about that. The only thing I know is Jolene. That's it. That's literally all I know. I haven't even read it. I want to watch it. It's coming out next year. It's supposed to come out this year, but it's coming out next year because of, you know, this stuff going around. But man, that's huge. This is huge. Like, I do think that Shining Diamond will pretty much win. I mean, as it's pointing out, I don't know. Like I said, unless Golden Experience Requiem can get like a direct hit on Josuke himself, he can't do that death loop thing. So, I mean, honestly, Josuke wins this fight, honestly. Whatever you guys want to say, if you guys agree or disagree with me, please leave something in the comments below. I would really love to hear what you have to say, basically. I think this is a really interesting topic, and I might do some other type of videos like this, trying to pit people against each other. Of course, I'm not the best at doing this type of thing because, you know, I don't have like the best editing software around. You know, I have people who I can also do these discussions with, but sometimes I don't like to do that because that's putting a little bit of effort into my schedule and into theirs. And I work, you know, I don't even make enough money or any money at all off, at least as of now, currently, off of YouTube. I have a job, so to actually go around my schedule to actually, you know, have someone else come in and then record with me, that can be a bit time consuming, especially if I'm trying to make at least a 20-minute video. But basically, I do hope you did like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate it. I do a lot of anime content, some gameplays. I'm gonna try to do a lot more anime content though, in the near future, and just the future of my channel in total, basically. But I just want to go back to what I was doing before. You know, I don't want to just do strictly games anymore. I want to do a lot of anime stuff. Even with anime games, it's still games. So yeah. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. So, yeah. Have a great day.